Hi, my name's Suzanne Flynn. I'm the Adult Programming Librarian here at the Downtown Huntsville Library, and today I am going to show you how to make multiple masks out of a single t-shirt. So what you're going to need for today is you're going to need one large or extra large t-shirt. The bigger the better. It gives you a little more fabric to work with. And I also recommend the slightly thicker fabrics. If you have the thin knit ones, it'll work, but if you have one of those solid old-fashioned t-shirts, it works a little bit better. And then you're also going to need one good pair of scissors. If you've got fabric scissors, that'll be great. If not, just make sure that they're really sharp, because we're going to be cutting a lot of fabric today, and you want to make sure your scissors are good so that you don't have to fight with them the whole time. So for our first mask, what we're going to do is we are going to turn this shirt inside out. Dun, dun, dun. Don't mind me if I hum and sing to myself, because I just provide my own sound effects for everything. It's okay. Then you're going to lay it out, and you want to make sure that your bottom in particular is nice and straight, because that's where we're going to start working right now. So I don't know if you're like me, but I don't have any rulers at my house, so we're going to use our hands to help measure everything today. If you look, your hand from the base of your palm to the top of your fingers is probably enough to go from your chin up over your nose, just like your mask needs to. So you're going to use this as your measuring guide, and you can either be brave and wing it, or if you have a pen or a Sharpie handy, you could make a little mark over it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, you're going to lay with your palm at the bottom of the t-shirt, lay it down, and then make a little mark at the top of your top finger. It doesn't have to be very dark, it doesn't have to be very long, just a little mark so that you know where it is. So then what you're going to want to do is we are going to fold this t-shirt at that mark so that we get a double layer mask, so we can put a filter in it later. So we're going to turn it, and we're going to try to make sure that it's even all the way around, and it's going to still be the same size as our hand. So we kind of move it around, get it straight. Da, da, da. All right, so what you're going to want to do once you've got it folded is you're going to want to make sure it's still the length of your hand from the base of your palm to the top of your finger. You can sort of lay it there. Mine's gotten a little long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to check again. So we're good there. It's a little short on the side, so I'm going to adjust here. All right. So now that it is the size of my hand, I'm going to take my sharp scissors and I'm going to cut it out. And it doesn't matter if your side is kind of janky looking. The beauty of t-shirts is it kind of curls up and it covers up how terrible your cutting skills are. So nobody will ever know. All right, so we'll set this aside. We're going to make some more masks out of that later, but for right now, we're working with this piece. So what you're going to want to do is move it around so you've got this big loop tube thing. You're going to want to move it around so that the seam is in the middle in front of you, because you don't want that in front of your face. It's not going to look as good. And you know, when you're wearing a mask over your face all the time, you got to be vain about something. So we're just going to fold it back out, and then for the part that's going to go over your face, you want it to be, I read somewhere about 4 inches, because it's going to be 8 inches total. That's about your palm. So once again, I don't own a ruler at my house, so we are just going to take this and we're going to make a mark that's from the base of your palm to about where your fingers start. And so this part is going to be the part that goes on your face. Now we're going to make the tails that you use to tie it on. So you're going to want it to be about 2 inches, which is about this part of your finger. So that is 2 knuckle, well, yeah, the second knuckle right there. So you want it to be about that much. So the easy thing to do is kind of lay your finger on your fabric, and you can make another mark or just use your scissors to cut a mark there. And so you make your little mark again, and now we cut. Like I said, you're going to do a lot of cutting on today's episode of mask making, which is nice because it's not sewing. I have a sewing machine, I just don't know how to work it, so no sew masks it is. And my cutting skills are terrible, but that's okay, it's t-shirt. All right, now we'll go and do the other side. My lines kind of wiggle. It's fine. These are going to be tied behind your head anyway, so I don't think anybody's going to notice if they're a little uneven. It's happy little accidents, as Bob Ross liked to say. Just kind of let it flow. If you get too finicky about making sure every line is straight, you'll never get done. So just sort of let it go, and then you're going to cut here. All right, so this is all extra. If you have a scrap fabric pile, you can put it in there, or you can just throw it away, or save it for more mask strips if you want. All right, so the mask is almost done, but you can see that it's still kind of tubular. That's not really going to work for what we're trying to do. So you are going to cut in the back here, and you're going to cut back here. Now, it is too loose on the sides to put a filter in there and have it stay. So what you are going to do is you are going to tie the sides down. So all you got to do, tie a knot. Tie it till you get just to the side of the mask here. You tie one knot and then tie another knot. Because you want it to stay. And then you do the same to the other side. All right, and we can get that through. It's pretty much done. What you want to do is kind of stretch your mask out and flex it a little bit so that it'll fit on your face a little better. If you notice, this is the inside seam. It might be a little hard to see on there, but that's where you can see all the thread. That's going to be the side you want to go towards your face, just for purely aesthetics reasons. And then all you got to do is tie the two tails on. I always like to start with the bottom one and then pull it up over my face, just because it's easier, whichever way you want to do it. So you're just going to take it, tie it on. You've got these long tails, so once you get used to how long and how much you tie it, you can always cut them and trim them up a little bit more. I've seen online some people made like tassels with them, so that was pretty cool. And then you're going to want to, okay good, I didn't pick up the microphone. That would have been awful for you guys listening at home, I'm sure. Then you're going to want to pull this up over your nose and make sure that you've got your fabric like so, and you can pull it up and pull it around and just tie it like that. It's got a pocket for a filter to go in it. Let me get this off again. So all you would need to do is tuck a filter inside there. I have another video that you can watch that's going to talk about some homemade filters that you can make, but all you got to do is tuck it in there and you're good to go. All right, let's make some more masks. Oh, I should probably put my glasses back on so that I can, see. So here's the rest of our shirt. If you want, you can turn it back right side out, just to save you from having to do that after you've made the mask. But we've got this. So what we're going to do this time is we are going to work with the sleeves on the shirt. So what you are going to want to do is get your sleeves kind of even, and we're going to cut them off of the shirt. Perfect. All right. So we now have a sleeve, and we're going to use that, but we need something to tie it onto our head. Luckily, we have a lot of fabric here from our t-shirt, so we are just going to lay it back out, and we're going to trim just a little strip off the bottom of this t-shirt for us to use on our mask. So it doesn't need to be very big, so it just the length of your finger, sort of eyeball it about an inch. You can do 2 inches. You just want it long enough and wide enough that you can tie. Oops, I just totally cut off of there. That's okay, I was going to have to cut it in half anyway so that I could use it, so we'll just do it this way. Alright, so for this first mask using a sleeve, it's pretty simple. You've got your sleeve, lay it out, take your strip of t-shirt material, and you're going to make it so that it's like a half loop here, but it's still open at the bottom. And you're going to put that inside the sleeve and pull it so that you have a loop at the top here and your strands at the bottom. And then this inside of the sleeve, you can put a filter in there, like one of these paper towel filters I've got. Oh, that one's really small. Let's get a good big one because I have a good big sleeve here. And you just tuck it inside. And then to put this one on, so this is going to be the part that goes around the top of your head. So you'll take that. I have to take my glasses off again. This is the hard part of wearing a mask with glasses. You're going to take that, put that around the top of your head, put your mask on, and when you pull these, it tightens the top. Now, I've totally messed this up, but here, let me try this again. That's the problem with this one. The other one we have works a little better for me because I'm very uncoordinated and I need all the help I can get. I'm going to fold that little top up because it's bigger than my face because this shirt is a little large. But I am going to take that filter out before I drop it again. Put that on. And I could put the filter back in there now. And I pull that side and I pull that side. And I've got my mask on. And I can pull it tighter and get it more fitted on the sides and across my nose. You can also, if you want, I'm losing fabric over here, put a paper clip in the top and it will fold across your nose better. Alright, so we have 2 sleeves, so we're going to use them both to make a mask. This one is a little different from the last one. So once again, you're going to want to cut your mask off. My shirt got a little folded there, so you're going to want to cut that off. Alright, once again, we need a strip of fabric to serve as our strap that goes around our head. I'm going to cut right off of here again. All right, perfect. Now we are going to cut it in half so that we've got one long strip. And set this aside. Now for this one, it's one of my favorites because it actually can be a little more fitted and it works really well with a paper clip. So this one you're going to want to put on this way. So this is where your nose is going to be. And you're going to fold the side in just a little bit. Maybe an inch, maybe like one finger. You're going to fold it in just a little bit and take your scissors and you're going to want to put small cuts in here, just like we're going to lace it. So I would recommend, take your finger and go, okay, here's one knuckle. I'm going to put a small cut here. And then if your scissors are like mine, you need to work on from the back. It doesn't have to be a very deep cut. And then go up a finger and cut. And then go up a finger and cut. And again. And again. And again. And I think we got room for one more cut here. Put one more in. All right, and then you can see we've got these little holes. We're going to use those for our straps. But first we got to cut the other side. Same thing. Fold it in about an inch, about a fingertip width. Fold it in. And take your finger about a fingertip down. And then do it again all the way down. All right. So once again, I've made these little marks here. So what you're going to want to do is lay it so that you have a loop here at the top, and then you're just going to lace your way down the sides. I recommend starting from the outside of your mask, which is the part where you can't see the curve. Start from the outside, go through that first top loop, and then you go back through. If you made your cuts a little too small and you're having difficulty getting the fabric through, you can take a paper clip and sort of thread it like a needle and use the paper clip to help you guide the strips through. If you don't have a paper clip, you can always grab like a little pin or a pencil and just sort of help you push it through the fabric there. All right, got one side done. Now we do the other side. I like this mask in particular because it's a little easier to get it fitted. So I feel like it fits better and it helps. My husband has a very large bushy beard and he has a hard time with a lot of masks because they kind of get pushed up. But this mask, because you can tighten it yourself, you can pull it and kind of catch that beard underneath and it kind of holds it all in for you, which is nice. All right, and so once again, take your glasses off if you're like me, and you're going to take this, put it over, put that around your head, and then you can just pull these sides down tight, if I can find my other side, and tie it around the back of your neck, and it forms to your face, and you can make it tighter or looser depending on what you need. And this one Also plays really well with if you want to put a paper clip or a pipe cleaner in the top so that you can have that fitted nose, and that helps with the fit a little bit. Now if you want to do that, I'll show you how to do it on this one, and you can also do it on the other mask. Anything where you have this little extra seam, just make a small little cut, just one. And what we're going to do is we are going to take a regular paper clip and we're going to straighten it out. And we're going to run it through that mask. Now, a regular size paper clip is going to be a little longer. If you have pipe cleaners, you can always make it a little smaller, and that's nice. And you can adjust the size. But what you really want to remember, no matter which one you choose, you're going to need to try to fish it out when you wash it, before you wash it, so it doesn't get lost in your washing machine. Ask me how I know from experience. But then you just pinch it and you can bend it. It's very flexible, but it'll help your mask fit a little closer to your face. So that one is a really good one, and once again, it has room for your filter pocket. We still have fabric. I know, you're wondering, how many more masks can I make? Well, guess what? You've got a lot of fabric left here, so you could make 2, but they're the same mask, so I'll just show you how to do it once. I recommend doing it on the back of your t-shirt, mainly because if you do it on the front, you're going to end up with your design being in a weird spot. So what I would do is I would either turn it inside out or just not do it and save this front to use as fabric for strips to make other masks, so that you can have a little bit a different look to it. So first we are going to cut at this seam, then we are going to cut at this seam. And basically what we want to do is get rid of all of these really thick sewn necklines and edges, so that we have just a nice basic piece of fabric. One more. All right, so then I'm going to take that. All right, so here is my back piece of my t-shirt, and what I'm going to do is get it laid out kind of straight. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it in half. I think you would call that a hot dog fold. And then I'm going to fold it in half again, which would be a hamburger fold, and I've got this quarter of fabric. So what I want to do is I want to take about my hand length again, and I'll make a mark, or you could just cut, and I'll make a little mark here, and then do the same over here. And then you're going to kind of want to make a diamond shape ultimately. So you're going to go from where you made your mark here to that mark in kind of a diamond pattern. You don't want it to be blocky. If it's blocky, that's not going to be a problem, but it'll make it a little easier to fold and wear if you kind of go up. Maybe your fingertip plus a little extra, and then go over and kind of cut along here, and then just exit there. That is extra. So before you unfold this, you're also going to want to make room to put it on your ears. So about a fingertip length in from this edge, you're going to want to cut a slit. You don't want to cut it all the way off. You just want it to be a little bit deep, because this is where your ears are going to go. Now we can unfold it. And there it is. Now I'm sure you're looking at it going, wow, that's huge. What do I need all this for? Well, it is designed to sort of envelope fold around a filter. So you take your paper towel or whatever you're using as a filter, and you fold down and then you fold up, and you see how it covers your filter, and it is now going to be about 2.5 layers actually. And then these are going to go around your ears. So this one's a little harder to put on because the fold will come unfolded. So I suggest you hold it here, put it over your face, and then put the loops over your ears. And then you can get it all adjusted and everything, but you kind of have to help it. And like this is a little big on me. So what you want to do to kind of help it tighten down is you can flip the ears. So you just sort of turn them. So if this is the side towards my face, you flip it and try it that way, because that can help you tighten it down without having to cut it, so that it can work for you, or if there's someone else in your household with a larger face, they can wear it too. And then twist. Oh, mine kind of came unfolded there, but you give it a twist and put it on, and I've totally pulled it all over. But you can see it fits a little bit better, it fits a little tighter along here, and it fits more along here. So that's a good way to make a mask work for 2 people. All right, we have made several masks, and if you're curious about what kind of homemade filters you can use, tune in to my next video where I'll discuss what you can use to make these at home. Thank you very much.